Hi and welcome to something new and something really seriously noisy. I'm actually just going to do a thing I don't normally do, which is... Right, okay. So there's a couple of things already. So let me just explain what's happening first. So I saw this go past on the Everything New in Steam VR Twitter account the other day, and it's a thing called Run VR, and it seems like it's aiming to be what it says on the tin. It's a running simulator in VR. That's it. I've got no idea how it works. I've got no hands. It's showing me my Quest 2 controllers. I've got no idea how you move. No idea whatsoever. Oh my god. Actually, okay, right, so we'll get to this in a second. So there's a couple of things going on here. So, first things first, that main menu is bloody awful. It's another one of those things where game devs seem to think you just want to be completely overwhelmed by music in their menu and there's no way of turning it off. So we do have a menu, but apparently all it lets me do is just pull up my watch and start. The next thing I would mention, so yeah, menu noise and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god, please no music in menus, or if you must have music in menus, a way of turning it off, or at least some kind of settings that let you control the audio or whatever. So, next thing is, for some reason I appear to be like a meter tall. I have no idea why I'm only a meter tall. I am stood up. I'm definitely not sat down. If I was sat down, I'd be way lower. So the game has a problem with that as well. It looks like there are no settings for that whatsoever. So I can't do anything about that. I'm going to be running like I'm a child or something like that. I've seen no instructions. There are no instructions in the game. So from what I can see, the only thing that exists is whatever's on the Steam page. The price of this is, I think it was about £4 or something like that. It's actually on sale as a new release. And ordinarily I wouldn't have bought this, but of course anyone who knows me will know that there's two things that I quite enjoy doing, and that's playing VR and going running. They're not the only two things I enjoy doing, but you know, I am kind of into my running. I don't run as much at the moment because of a new job and everything as I used to, but I tend to do at least 20 kilometers a week. I tend to do a couple of 10Ks at the weekend because I do a lot of walking, commuting into my job and that during the week. But yeah, running is a thing I enjoy, and playing VR is a thing that I enjoy, so it sort of made sense that I couldn't resist it. I wouldn't have bought this any otherwise, but I don't know, £4 to see what a running simulator looks like just makes so much sense. So none of the controls are doing anything. It's not turning me around. It looks like I have to rely on actually moving around in real space, which is going to be a problem because I've got a cable hanging off me. In fact, I've got two cables hanging off me because I've got one for my headset and one for my microphone. No movement does anything. No waving your arms seems to do anything as far as I can tell. From what I can see, it is all down to I am actually jogging on the spot, which is not a great experience, I gotta say. That's a really weird thing to do in VR, especially when you're trying to control yourself. But let's see, let's keep going. There's lots of other things I've learned to do in VR. I don't know how this is going to come out as a recording. I don't know how this is going to come out as audio as well, because whoa, I'm actually starting to creep forward. I'm trying to run on, yikes, I'm trying to run on the spot. I'm actually creeping forward in my play space. Okay, I just wanted to see what was down there. So how far have it's showing me everything in miles. Okay, so it's showing me miles for some reason. But it was showing kilometres down there. Right, there we go. Hang on. Show me kilometres. So if I click on okay, I see what they're doing. Right, so what's start do? Go away. The inability to actually set my height is weird. So is this kind of a clever idea but a terrible idea all at the same time? Because there's many things I've done in VR. You know, I've tried driving and flying and oh no, something under my foot. I'm getting all caught up in my cables. Yeah, I've tried a great many things. What else have I done? Swimming, I suppose, kayaking, all those kinds of things. But most of those you can do by being stood on the spot or sitting down. But actually jogging on the spot in VR without migrating out of your play space is actually really, really difficult. Well, let's keep going. How fast can we go? Okay. I'm actually running on the spot a lot faster than I would go and run normally, I guess. So that's the thing to consider. I really wish you could use the thumbsticks to turn. I don't necessarily mind the actually having to jog on the spot thing as a method of locomotion, but I'm not liking the having to turn because yeah, that gets quite yeah, I'm going to get really caught up in my cables, which is not great at all. So when I think of this, I think this is simultaneously a very clever idea and well, quite badly implemented. I'm trying really hard not to migrate forwards while doing this and trying not to fall over while doing this as well. The problem is, I feel, is everything I do in VR, I've always got both my feet firmly planted on the floor, or I've got my ass firmly planted on a chair. I'm grounded. Ooh. I move forward for a moment then. Ah, okay. So I can do it just by, I'm not even bunny hopping, I'm just kind of, how would I say, kind of just flexing my knees and letting go again. So that kind of works. Okay, because what I was going to say was, you know, everything has me firmly planted. You know, I've always got 2 feet on the floor, or I, you know, have my ass in a chair. But of course, jogging on the spot, the problem is you're kind of, you know, balancing on one foot and the other for a moment, which is kind of tricky in VR. So the bunny hopping thing, well, it's not even bunny hopping, I'm kind of, you know, bouncing up and down on balls of my feet in a way, and kind of just flexing my knees and everything, but that doesn't work very well for turning. I kind of wouldn't mind so much if I could just like do this, swinging my arms to get a bit, you know, if it had arm swinging locomotion or something like that. How are we doing? I've done half a kilometre so far. What's my speed? It's not giving me a speed. Oh, there we go. So my normal, let's have a look, my normal outdoor running pace is actually, yeah, giving me it in a kilometre an hour speed is weird, because of course I always think, you know, most people seem to talk in terms of how long it takes, you know, your pace is how long it takes to do a kilometre. So most of the time when I'm running, I'm sort of about 5:30 to 5:45, depending on how long I'm running for. You know, if I'm doing a 5k or a 10k, if it's a nice day and I'm well rested and stuff like that, I can do more like a 5 minutes to do a kilometre. I don't want to have to do maths, figure out what that is in kilometers an hour. Oh my god, this is not a pleasant experience. I wouldn't mind if I was actually the right height. So if I do quit, does that take me back to the main menu? Are you sure you want to leave? Yes. No, it actually just quit the game. That's it. So there's no way back to the main menu. Let me just see if I can get it back up again. Back in a moment. Hi, and I'm back. What I wanted to do was have a look at this follow mode. Oh, come here. Oh, I'm not. There we go. So I'm supposed to follow this person. But they're off. Also, for some reason, it's really... Oh, why did I just get taller? Did I just do something then that made me get taller? It's really, really janky now that I've loaded it up again. For some reason, the imagery is really, really jumpy. Okay, so if she gets too far away, she stops. So that's good. I wish there was a way of changing my height. Okay, every button just brings that up. There's no settings. Can I take a shortcut? Try and catch her up. There you go. But it's how can I describe it? I don't know if it's going to be recording like this, but suddenly it's really jumpy. The video is really jumpy. Well, I was going to say just because I'm in the follow mode. I don't know that that's the case. I've also just realised a really unfortunate thing with this height problem is if I do catch her up, it's going to make me look like a right creep. Because there's kind of a issue of how high up my head is. Let's try and catch up a bit more. This is a terrible experience. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh no, I can't shortcut round that. Okay. So I am literally just bobbing up and down here. I'm not trying to run this time. I mean, it's still a workout, it's still exercise. Oh, she's going across that way. Mind the bus! Oh my god. So the graphics just seem really janky now, in a way that they weren't earlier. And I feel like it's because they're now animating this other avatar that I'm supposed to be following. What's that there? Why is that glowing? Why was that plank glowing? I'm going to guess she's going this way, so I'm going to shortcut this corner. Ah, she anticipated that. Come on, there we go. Oh, where are you going? Oh no, this is just like too silly. I'm all caught up again. I really feel like this is actually kind of a clever idea. Do I get run over or what? No, okay, so the traffic just goes straight through you. I feel like this is actually kind of a clever idea, but I think wholly relying on you actually doing a running motion. Ah, it stopped. It's not great. I can't go around it. Oh, so there is physics on the vehicles. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. Headsets are not that comfortable. And I'm already starting to feel the discomfort. And I'm not even running properly in the spot. Also, the graphics are definitely a bit off. It's hard to describe, but it's almost like there's a lag between my left and right eye. Just as I turn around, they're just like ever so slightly out of sync, and it's making me feel a bit icky. Yeah, do you know what? I'm never going to play this again unless alternate forms of locomotion are put in. You know, the idea of being able to just wave your arms as a locomotion thing, that feels like it would be a good workout. It feels like it would achieve the thing of allowing you to do a bit of cardio or whatever in VR. That's not unusual, but make it a bit more accessible, because actually jumping up and it doesn't feel great. This is not going to, I mean, I have very good VR legs, compared to how I used to be when I first got into VR, and the motion is making me feel a little bit sort of not comfortable. Anyone who's fairly new to VR is going to really struggle with that, for sure. So I feel like, if you could do the arm swinging thing and stuff like that as an alternate form of locomotion, that would make sense. I like the base idea, the idea of just having like a running simulator that you can go around in VR and explore the city and things like that. I like that. That actually seems kind of fun. I think I'd maybe mess about with that a little bit. I could get into that in a way, especially if there was some kind of achievements thing, you had to follow certain routes or go explore places or something like that. I'd be completely up for that. That would make sense. But as it stands right now, it's got issues. It's even, what did I pay? As I say, I paid less than £4, and I would not recommend anyone buying this. I'm not going to refund this, because I really like that someone's gone to the effort of even having a go at this, because this doesn't feel like one of those sort of usual, Unity asset, slap it down and just throw it out there and that's it. I mean, maybe that's what this city is and that's what the characters are and everything. I don't know, I'm not a game dev. But the fact that they've put some thought into how the locomotion thing works and how it's supposed to make you feel like you're running, because actually you are going to be running on the spot, it's detecting the head bob and all that kind of stuff. I really like that, and so I'm not going to refund it just for that. It's basically the cost of a coffee and a cookie to try this out. And I've actually, in terms of amount of time, had more longevity of time for my money enjoying this and having a bit of fun trying this out than I would coffee and a cookie kind of thing. So I can't complain about that. For £4 to try this out, absolutely worth it. It is riddled with issues, just basic issues. That initial menu is terrible. The music is way too loud, it shouldn't be there, or it should be dialed right down, or there should be a way of turning it off. The fact that I'm apparently only a metre tall is kind of disconcerting, and certainly this second time I've run it up, there's a definite, I don't know whether it is a kind of a lag between the two eyes. I don't know how these things work, but there's something going on. There's a kind of weird stutter this time that wasn't there before, that is actually making me feel a little bit sick. I'm going to have to come out of here and just have a drink and clear my head. I don't like it, but I like what it could be. I like what it should be. And I think I like what the dev maybe had in their head when they kind of sat down at their keyboard one day and went, do you know what the world needs? It needs a VR running simulator. It's clever. I like the idea, but in this state I can't see me ever playing it again. I do also feel that with slightly improved graphics and better performance and stuff like that, and all the issues I've spoken about, as a standalone Quest 2 thing, without needing a PC to be hooked up to and stuff like that, I could almost see that working, almost. And again, the locomotion thing, if you could do it by just doing arm swings or something like that, then that would make it more accessible, that you could be sat down to do it. Because of course there's people who are just not going to have VR legs to do it, or standing is just not an option and things like that. So there's plenty of people who only solely play VR seated for a variety of reasons, and I feel that's something that this could do for those people who don't have the ability to get up and go running and things like that. It would be an interesting experience if they could just like have an alternate locomotion system. But yeah, I'm done here. I think I can't really do this much more, especially given just how bad the graphics are on this at the moment. Oh, can I catch her up? Come on. I can go fast enough. We're supposed to be running buddies. I don't think you're supposed to be running faster than me. Do you know what? I think they programmed it so she always stays ahead of you. There's no catching her up. I'm trying really hard to run really fast, but every time I get faster, she gets faster as well. So there's no catching her up. No, that's me done. Clever idea. I want to explore the map. The jitteriness of this is actually making me feel really quite unwell now, and that's unusual for VR for me. So I'm going to get the headset off and sit down and just have a drink and that before actually getting changed to go out and do a proper run. I'm actually going out and running in a little bit. I'll be doing one of my weekend 10Ks is the plan. Hopefully that has a better frame rate than this does. But from this first and very likely last dip into Run VR, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.